Welcome everyone, my name is Mel and I wanted to show you some things that I picked out for my March everyday makeup drawer. The goal is to use up or really put a dent in some of these products that have gone a little stale in my collection, especially before the Sephora sale on April 4th. And speaking of the Sephora sale, be sure to subscribe because I will have my Sephora series, what I recommend, what's in my cart, the haul, the try on. Another reason to subscribe is because right after this video, I will show you what products I use to achieve this look. And I am pleasantly surprised with the products that I used and how it turned out. So again, subscribe and join us. We are very active in the comments down below. My birthday was not too long ago, so I did pick up some new products. They are all going in my everyday makeup drawer. This was sort of part of my gift from my husband and the kids. So two products that I got from Tom Ford, specifically in the Nordstrom's near me, is the Shade and Light Duo, and I did pick that up in Tan Light, and we'll just talk about it more when we get to the highlighter section of this video. But just very quickly, this is what Tan Light looks like. I have wanted Flicker for so long, but it's discontinued, and Tan Light is the darkest duo that Tom Ford has, so I figured let's try it out. I love the Contour Duo so very much. And then I also decided to get my very first Tom Ford quad, and this is Ember Bronze. I don't want everything to fall out, and that's Ember Bronze. Right there, I really always wanted smoky quartz, and maybe I'll get it during the Sephora sale. I don't know. But smoky quartz just seemed so me that I'm like, no. I always think of you guys now, like plain colors. So I figured the 3 matte shades I will definitely use. And then we have that beautiful shimmery sort of burgundy shade. I did pick up my first Chanel single shadow, and this is in Brune Fauve. And this is a recommendation from Andrea. I think I saw her randomly mention it over the summer 2024, and it's been on my radar ever since. It's just so cute. It comes with a pouch. All the Tom Ford stuff comes with their pouch, but I did not know that the single shadows came with little pouchies too. How cute. Because of Christina Marie and Sunsarae, I will link their channels down below. They really recommended this new Chanel highlighter quad, and I had to do it. Once I saw it in person, I'm like, it's over. So again, we'll swatch everything when we get to the highlighter section. And we couldn't really get a match that I was happy with, but I did get samples of the La Beige foundation. If you're close to my skin tone, if you're Dior 5N and what have you, let me know what shade you wear. I have here samples of 121 and 122. So I will be testing those out. I told you guys that I was able to snag one of the $100 rewards cards for my 2,500 points, which don't even get me started. Like, I want to be excited for the Sephora sale, but I'm really not, because Ulta is just, did you see that milk? And there's another brand that just not moved over, but is also in Ulta now. I forget. I'll put the name somewhere, but Sephora really needs to get it together because Ulta is on their neck. I asked you guys, if you had $100 to spend at Sephora, what would you pick up? And I just want to show you guys some of the things that I picked up at your suggestion and what will now be in the makeup drawer for March. First up, the Natasha Denona Mini Sculpt Eyeshadow Palette. This is just so me, and I think because I didn't pick up Smoky Quartz and I picked up Ember Bronze from Tom Ford, I'm like, this made me feel better. So we have this little palette to try out. I'm very excited about it. I also got one of the new Patrick Ta blushes. This is in She Goes to the Gym, and it's described as a cool mauve rose. So beautiful. Out of the 4 that he released, this one definitely called my name. There's one more, I think She Knows Who She Is, but it looks a little like She's So LA, which I already have and love, but this one is beautiful. Another blush. This is YSL's Peachy Nude. So pretty, and it's described as a warm terracotta matte shade. So lastly, Rare Beauty, and this is their new liquid contour, and I have it in the shade Tranquil. Quite a few people suggested that as well. I didn't pick up any foundations because in my mind I was gonna eventually go back and get the Chanel foundation, and I'm like, I have too many. Now that I have the samples for Chanel, I don't even think I'm gonna get foundation now or during the sale because I just have a lot. I have a lot of foundations for someone who does not wear makeup every single day. So let's go ahead and get into what's in this everyday makeup drawer. Let's get right into primers. I just want to finish up my MAC primer. I'm about here with it, which is so crazy because I just never get to finish primers. Even with my like holy grail Hourglass primer, I got about 3/4 of the way through it, and then eventually I had to toss it because it just got too old. But this one I feel like I can definitely finish in the month of March. I love it. I'm sorry, this is, would be nice if I told you, right? This is the MAC Studio Fix Mattifying 12-Hour Shine Control Primer. I love this. It really does keep me matte without feeling like there's this weird barrier on my skin. You know, I don't like to feel suffocated either. It lets my skin breathe while also not getting overly oily. So I do get a little oily with this, depending on the foundation, depending on the weather, but this has lasted me through summer, fall, and now winter. So I love this thing, and I already have one waiting in the wings. I also want to finish up my Smashbox 24-Hour Eyeshadow Primer. We're about the same amount of ways through. I just don't like applying it like this. It's not my favorite. I definitely prefer the Urban Decay Primer Potion and it having the wand. This one is nearly done as well. So no matter what, whether it's Ulta, Sephora, whoever has another sale first, I have to pick up an eyeshadow primer because this is about done and this is about to be done. I had to get rid of my Huda Beauty correctors because they got really old and they smelled awful, and I realized and have been loving my Bobbi Brown corrector, and this is in the shade, what is it, Very Deep Bisque, and it's so good, and it actually reminds me of the NARS brightening corrector, except instead of it being in a pot, it's in a stick. This is so good, and you can even, it's creamy enough that you could like blend it out with your fingers. I use just a little bit and it works for me. I absolutely love it. And then I do have the concealer to go with it, but it's not as old as some of these other ones that I have here. That's the only reason why it's not in this makeup drawer. I have three. I have the NARS Soft Matte Radiant Creamy Concealer. I love this. It's in the shade Amande. It's been sitting at the bottom of my concealer drawer. So upsetting. It's just things, you know, piled on top of it, but I love it so much. And again, with my skin being a bit drier because of the winter, I wanted to use creamier concealers. That's also why I am breaking out my Laura Mercier, and it's in the shade 4N2. I don't think it has a name, but 4N2. Those are my creamy concealers, but I also have here the Tom Ford concealer, and this is in the shade 6W1 Spice. I don't use this as much as I should because it's just a little too dark and a little too red for me, but I want to get more wear and tear out of it. You see, a little orange for my liking. We're gonna make it work. And because we are getting into spring, I do have two glowy illuminators. This is the Chanel Le Beige. I love this one more so for like when I go out and it's, you know, I have some skin showing. I put this on. This is in the shade Sunkissed, and shake it up. It's really beautiful, goldeny. illuminator. If you want something a little bit darker, then I would recommend the Forever Glow Star Filter by Dior. I have it in the shade 5. Both of these I really love. Ironically, I think I use the Chanel one a little bit more than the Dior when I, really think about it. But again, just very light, natural makeup is the name of the game. So that's why I have these two in the drawer this month. I tend to wear more natural makeup. I don't go a lot of places. So when I do wear makeup, it tends to be very light. And so I have the Ami Collet, the Hourglass, and the Dior Tinted Moisturizers. So I really love the Ami Collet. I don't know if I'm going to repurchase it. I might wait until the November sale because this I really loved in the summer. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot left. And I say that because I have these two. Like I don't need 3 in constant rotation. Oops. Chopping stuff as always. I don't need 3 in constant rotation, especially since I gravitated towards this one. And it's in the shade Deep 2. Hourglass, I'm in the shade 15, and Dior, I'm in the shade 5N. So I might just kind of wear it. And also these are a little dark for me, so I think it's perfect for spring summer joggers. But anyway, the Ami Collet though I would still really recommend. And again, if it wasn't for me having like 2 others, I haven't even used this one yet, I would repurchase this next month. So since I'm still on the drier side, if I am going out, I need a little more coverage. I am going to go for the Laura Mercier foundation. This is the Real Flawless, and I have it in 52N Cardamom. I love this. I love this so much. The formula is everything. I wish I had a better shade match in the concealer, but this is my exact shade. If you want to know what shade I am, this is my exact shade. I love it. And if you are on the drier side, this is going to be your friend. And I'm also busting out my MAC Studio Fix fluid, and I am in the shade, I used to be NC47, but with this formulation I am a true NC50. I have a video comparing the two and all of that if you want to check it out. But these two, and because this is very like demi matte, ironically this used to be very matte. It used to, when I had oilier skin, this was perfect. But this new formulation is definitely good for anyone who is a little on the matte side. Even if you're, in my opinion, a little dry, I think you'll be okay with this. Powders. I am trying to get through my powders. I'm going to show you 2 sort of finishing powders. They're not on the market anymore. I'm really sorry, but just very quickly, the Dior in 5N, and then Laura Mercier doesn't have this particular one anymore. This is in the shade 5, but there's a newer version, and I'm sure it's just as wonderful and amazing. So if you're interested, I love them, especially for those lighter foundations, tinted moisturizer situations. This is where it's going to be. And then forgotten setting powders. I have my Makeup Forever, which they don't, is it me or has Makeup Forever already had like 3 different powders, like loose powders in 2 years? I feel like I got this one, then there was the one with the sifter, and then there was another one that came out not too long ago. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but this is the HD setting powder in 4.0. I think it's slightly different now, but I love it, and I'm sure if it's anything like this or better, I love this for under the eye for just very natural makeup days. And then my one size in Ultra Pink. This is so massive. I will never buy such a big powder ever again. This is so huge. I'm never going to get through it. But the pink gives me such a nice soft finish under my eye. Gotta go for it. One last powder that I wasn't really sure where to put this because it's not a pressed powder, but it's also not a loose powder, is my Meteorites powder. I don't use this enough, and as, oh man, am I gonna get this open? Oh yeah, okay. And as pretty as it is, and as wonderful as it smells, like I need to use this. It was $70. Okay, hopefully it doesn't fall out. So there we are. So pretty. We got to start making use of this. So this is going to actively be part of my March makeup drawer. And I want to start using powder foundation more. So I do this every time we have to have a video. Force me, DM me, message me, remind me that I want to use my velvet matte, or matte velvet, sorry, HD skin powder by Makeup Forever. And of course, Studio Fix. Is it called Studio Fix? It is. The Studio Fix powder. This is an NC47. And the Makeup Forever is in 4N68. I have 67 as well. It's a little on the lighter side for me. It has to be like dead of winter, but because spring and summer is coming, I am using 4N68. Powder foundation routines are just as good. Very quick. I used to do them all the time, and I've just not been in the habit of it. I don't know why. So again, remind me. So those are all of the base products. I don't really have any new or exciting brow products to use. The only thing I will say to that is lately I've been using my ABH brow powder duo. It's so old. It's the old packaging, and I used it today, both colors, and as you can see, a little goes a long way because I've had this for 11 years, but I really do like it. So I will be using this the month of March. I just want to hit pan once and for all. I have an obscene amount of eye products. I don't know why. Not even eye products, shadow products. I don't know why. First up, the MAC Ultra Nude Unfiltered Nudes. I can never get this open. I love this thing. I love it. I love it. I have thought about creating my own MAC palette, and then I see this and I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you spend, I think it's like $180 to make your own MAC palettes. I believe you're gonna tap out at about $180, $190. Why would I do that? This is me. I love this, and maybe I don't need to put the, and then I feel like this is the bridge to spring, you know? I love this. But I should really put that back. Maybe I'll do that now that I'm like talking to you guys. Put that back and keep the Makeup by Mario, the original Ethereal Eyes. This one needs to get more love. I love this one better than more than the Moonlight palette. And this screams spring, I think. That's what we'll do. See, this is why I do this. So I can like talk to you guys and we can work it all out. But two that we have to keep is the Tom Ford. Let's see, Ember Bronze, and let's go ahead and swatch it. Ooh, I almost dug my nail into this. That would have been terrible. Oh yeah, those are 1, 3, and 4 are my shade. Ooh, and here they are. Yeah, that's gorgeous. And I feel like red can be spring. Right? Yeah, red can be spring. That's great. And the second palette, of course, is the Mini Sculpt by Natasha Denona. I know I'm going to get a lot of wear and tear out of this. Let's just swatch a few of the shades. Medium, deep, and black. Ooh, that black is black. That's good. It's not the blackest black eyeshadow that I have, but that's still pretty good. So my thinking was, because I have the Natasha Denona palette, I should pick out some single shadows to get some use out of those. And first up, I have MAC Dreamy Beams. Beautiful color. I'm gonna run out of arms. Dream color right here. It's not super bright, but it ushers us into spring. So you guys saw me swatch Havana in my Mocha Mousse video, so nothing new here, but a shadow that I do love to use. And one that I do want to play with pretty soon is the Chantecaille Crane. And this is a smoked burgundy. It's a beautiful color. I mean, it's a bit more purple than Dream. It has, you know, more of a purple base, of course, but that and Crane and Dreamy Beams. Look, very similar. You know, she likes what she likes. If you haven't already, check out my previous video. That is the Armani review, and I used shade 8, which is this beautiful rose color, and then also I have shade 10 here. I got more of, this isn't it, but I got more of the NARS, what are they called, sensual sticks? Total Seduction eyeshadow, sensual sticks, what? Total Seduction eyeshadow sticks, and I have them in the shade Rebellion, which is just that nice coffee brown. And I tend to use that like on the outer lid. And then this is Don't Touch, which is like a milk tea type color that I use all over the lid. I have 2 more coming, so they're going to be added to my makeup drawer as well. So I figured let's have these. And I think that's everything. Gosh, we have to swatch. Hello. The new, take out the brushes, the new Chanel eyeshadow. And where are we going to put her? Let's put her right here. That's just beautiful for all over the eye. And you just see how smooth and seamless that is. Gorgeous. I'm in love with her already. So let's go ahead and move on to complexion products. Let's start with blush. YSL Peachy Nude. Gorgeous. That's a heavy swatch. That's going to look really pretty. Great. I think so. I am going to add my NARS blush in Dolce Vita. Sunsarae, who I mentioned earlier, she recommended using a different brush with this. So I actually have to like DM her and ask her like what type of brush. But this is a blush that I used all year round when I had the old formula. So I think it should be part of March. This is Truth by Rare Beauty. This is another one that I feel like it's a little on the darker side. Let's just swatch it really quick. See? A little on the darker side. And again, that's Truth by Rare Beauty. I already swatched this and we went through this, but this is number 60. I kept calling it Plum, but it's not called Plum. But it is 60. And this is by Armani. She goes to the gym. Oh my gosh. Just looking at this, let's go ahead and swatch. Very, very pretty. And again, it's that beautiful mauve rose color. So we have the cream up top and then the powder on the bottom. Gorgeous. Again, she goes to the gym. I also have Garçon by Westman Atelier. I don't use it a lot though. I really should. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna add it. That's 6 blushes, but I'm gonna add it because I need to use it more. I think it's just really cool for me and my skin tone, but let's give it a good try. Again, I need to just use it already, or I mean, I don't know, this is too expensive. I feel like for me to give to someone else. I don't know. I love the highlighter, but this quad from Chanel I just don't use. Let me know, like maybe I'm using the wrong brush, like with the NARS. That's completely possible, but let me know, because I feel like no brush that I have picks up pigment from these blushes. It's a little disappointing. I don't have a lot of bronzer products. I have the Makeup by Mario here. I never use this. I think it's because of the size, even though it's really nice, right? And chocolatey. This is one of those products, either I use it or I lose it already. Like, what are we doing here? And of course, Rare Beauty in Tranquil. That is very intense. So compared to Say, and this is in Stinson. Oh wow, that's a lot darker. To be fair, Say is supposed to be a bronzer. This is a contour. That is pigment for ya. You guys don't need any reintroduction to this. This is the Victoria Beckham 04 powder bronzer that I plan on using as sort of a setting bronzer. I did pick up the highlighter palette and I'm so excited about this. Let's go ahead and swatch it. Oh my gosh, these are so buttery. I'm sorry, they're like all in the inner. Oh, I'm the worst, but they look so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're gonna have to use that ASAP. And also I have the highlighter duo in Daddy by Patrick Ta. Again, I've used this on my channel as well. All right, that is everything. I know that was a lot of products, but that's my March makeup drawer. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if there's anything you want me to use right away. Also, be sure to subscribe again to see what I use to get this look in part 2. Also, look out for that Sephora series, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, and I hope you're doing well and having a wonderful day, evening, whenever you're watching this. Bye.